I'm going to demo my new Dank sauces rack pack while making a track. Before I get started, I want to say thank you if you have already bought the pack, and especially thank you if you paid double the price or more. Shout out Solving King. If you are one of those people, DM me on Discord with the email you used to buy the rack, and I'll send you a special rack that is not included. I'm going to start off with the Sins portion of the pack. I'm going to start off with the basic master channel on the master. It's probably better to put it on later into the production process, but honestly, this is just if you want something basic. Now for the sends, I have a compression bus, a wide bus to give more width to individual tracks without fucking up in mono, and then another version of it. And then lastly, I have this sidechain switcher, which is nice for comparing your sidechain method. I'm going to put all these other sends through sends only, and then have them all route through the sidechain send. 0, and then same with everything that's not my drums. Okay, so I have this artifactory which makes artifacts. You can do staccato notes, just extend the end, and it usually works well with time-based devices. But then I decided to make another one that has built-in time-based devices. So when you do staccato notes, you can randomize it to get variations of it. Yeah, so those I'd usually resample since they go kind of crazy. We got some samples we can play with later. Now let's say we use these artifacts. Now I'm putting background laser rack on it. We're just change the shape of this. I usually have this as like a background like sound effect. I'm gonna go ahead and put a drum pattern down. I included this snare chromifier rack, which is for recording metallic snares. I usually delete the MIDI that I made it with. Use my favorite snare, align it, and then I might fuck with the transient. Now might be a good time to show off my dynamic EQ rack. First EQ is the compressor, and second one's expander, and you control the envelope follow. I really like using this on drums to shape them. So now I'm gonna play with my side chains to see which one. I think the gate is more for shorter drums, so this snare wouldn't really work well with the gate since it's kind of long. I'm just gonna lay down some hi-hats. Now I want to show the ride maker rack. Now this is how you can turn the hi-hats into rides. Like, I previously made a version of this a free download, but this version is all stock plugins. Now I want to start showing some bass stuff, so we got this sub bass here. We can use this bass enhancer, have it tuned to whatever note. I can fuck with the bass a lot. I want to get rid of these harmonics and the lasers. Have this tilt EQ rack. Now I have this high and B for sub bass. Everything under this frequency will stay the same and everything over will be distorted. Now I want to get some like call and response going. I'm gonna get a new operator and then let's use big growl. Now I think this works best with square waves. Now this automate me knob is exactly what you think it's for. Let's freeze this. Resample one of those lasers. Might want to use this Splaces Bloopy for this one. Okay, so this one's kind of weird, and I think it works best with like noisy kind of samples. Basically, I think this sounds like Space Laces kind of noises. And you can automate whatever you think sounds cool here. I have this home bass, just in case you fuck with it too much and it sounds like shit, because it can be really easy to fuck this. OTT multi-band compression rack. Switch between OTT, multi-band compression, change the band crossovers, change all the time scaling amounts, and also multiply up to 3 of them. And I made a multi-band compression preset. Like this is bass multi-band compression, and then here's multi-band compression that I think sounds good. And then also made an OTT preset that I thought sounds good, and I called it MSG. And if you didn't think that was enough, I also have OTT times 10. And you might be thinking, why would I want an OTT rack times 10 when I could do that myself easily? Well, here we have a multiply knob, so as you turn it up, turns on more OTTs. For my next trick, we'll get a wavetable, and I'll throw on the RC22, which is like the RC21 rack from my Flume video, but it has more goodies. Okay, I kind of want to get this other rack I have called Syncopation Wubs, which is what you can turn anything wubby with syncopation. rack called Squishy Virus, which makes everything squishy. This might be for a different sound. So now I want to make a lead, another square. In the seasonings folder, along with RC22, I have this rack called Good Time. What I really like about Live 11 is all the racks have random buttons now, so you can just get cool variations of this. Got this sidechain reverb. Choose a reverb, different reverb preset, but have the original sound cut through without sounding too wet from the reverb. Art Buddy, which basically is a seasoning for art. Here I kind of want to use this multi-band splitter rack I have, which is just a way to split your frequencies without phasing. Say I just wanted pitch map in the mids only. Maybe this is a little too wide, so I might narrow this with the mid-side width rack. I think I might swap this ARP out and do maybe like a G. Jones kind of acid. And then change the Art Buddy. Let's say I want to use Big Growler on this one. And then get this random LFOs rack. Put the Big Growler in here. And then map some of these. I feel like this one might take a couple of tries to get something cool. So I'm gonna resample. I have this digital clipper which allows sounds to sound big while giving a lot of headroom in the mix, so you'll be boosting the drive and then decreasing the volume and change whether like you have DC and color on. I want to get this high-low splitter. You can either switch between splitting it between high and low or have it add a high on top of the dry signal. Having the dry and high is basically the foundation of the sub beefer. Fuck it, let's use the Squishy Virus on this sub. I guess I do have one more rack to show off, which is right-left splitter. So let's put on this little bloopy here. So we want brain delay on the right side only. And then Squishy Virus on the other side. So now we have like a... I do not feel like making a build-up, but here's the idea I got from using all racks in the rack pack. Dank Sauce's rack pack. That song is not my favorite and I will not finish it, but the rack is made with stock plugins and you can get it now and it will be $10 until October 10th, 2022.